To give up or not to give up? That is the real question. Okay. Alright, enough of the dramatic stuff. I actually want to do another one, just like super dramatic, like, to give up or not to give up? That is the real question. Or, you know, that's that type of shit. Okay, but no, for real though. To give up or not to give up? That is a question that many of us have probably told ourselves, right? You know, I've told myself that a lot of times. You probably said that a lot of times to yourself. And to be honest, it's a pretty good question at some points because you can look into that and see, okay, well, first of all, why am I doing the thing? Right? Because think about it. This question is a sort of opportunity to sort of look into your priorities and sort of like, you know, why are you doing the things you want to do? So this includes your purpose, your goals, sort of ambitions you may have, and sort of ideals too. Ideals will come into this idea really, right? And you know, this all comes down to just like at the end of the day, and just to cut things short, prioritization of what you want to do, why do you want to do it, who do you want to do this for, how do you want to do it, and then well, how do you want to do it rather is like later in the future, like somewhere over there, you know. Um, but yeah, so it all depends on how you want to, or first of all, what are your goals? It's best to try to write these down and try to figure out, okay, what do I want to accomplish? What do I see myself in the next, like, if you want a short-term goal, maybe like 5 years, for example. I think 5 is pretty good. 5, 10, no, jazz hands. You know, like 5 years, right? What do you see yourself in 5 years? Who are you in 5 years? What are you doing in 5 years, right? These sort of like introspective questions can really give you an idea of like, okay, I want to do this thing, and this is the sort of outcome I want. So how do I get to that point? And then at this point, you can probably list down a bunch of things on paper, and you know, I mean, you could do it on a Google Doc or like on a Word document, whatever, right? But like, I mean, it'll help in the moment. But if you want to refer back to it, let's be honest, you have like a bunch of files on your computer, right? Like you probably have a bunch of Steam games. You have God knows how many PDF files you have from school or whatever. You know, you got all this random shit just all over your computer. I mean, I have a terabyte hard drive, and I have too much shit that I need to clean out. But you know, but I mean, yeah, no, I mean, aside from like PC management or whatever, right? Like you're gonna lose that document, and you know, if you want to refer back to that document, write it down on paper, right? Like again, I'm gonna probably gonna do this for a lot of my videos, but like this thing right here, you can't see it. Okay, that's terrible. But the thing I just showed, the weird bright thing, right? That was my list, like my video list ideas, right? Which I guess is good if you don't see it right now because it's like sneak peek, woo, right? Like, that sort of shit. But but yeah, like I have this list down so that I can look at this list and be like, oh, I wanted to do that, and something like that has happened to me today or something like that, right? I'm dying. Ah, I'm dying. Oh no. Okay. But all right. But no, seriously though, it's best if you write things down and you have an idea and a reference, like something you can look at physically, and you could do something like tape it under. Like, actually, you can't say it really. Like, I have like a couple things on the wall right now. It's just a bunch of goals and all these things that I want to accomplish, and the things that I'm doing right now, while it may seem cluttered to somebody outside, it's like, why are you doing this thing? Why are you doing that thing? Right? It benefits with my goals, right? Like, let's see if I can read this in the dark. Well, you know, I'm using my noggin right here actually. So to simplify some of the goals down, there's like 3 main goals I want to accomplish. Okay, three big ones. The first one, I want to get into medical school. The reason why, I want to go and serve other people with medicine, heal them, whatever, and you know, just I feel like it's an asset. Like I want to be a psychiatrist basically, and sort of like change the realm, help people with autism, that sort of deal. And that's with other personal reasons, aka my brother having autism really as a big one. But I could go into huge depth. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with that right now. But that's goal number one. That's like a big goal right now. The second goal is same thing, leads up to goal one. So like you can have your goals kind of like lead up to another goal, right? And that goal is to do more research and to excuse me, to like publish on more papers and be involved with the scientific community, be a big nerd basically, right? So that's the second goal. And the third goal is some people weird and not related at all to anything, if anything kind of clashes, but the third goal is voice acting actually. And I don't know what that really looks like right now because at first I thought it was just like, oh, just get this like fancy mic setup that I spent way too much money on and just sort of do audition after audition and then just go, right? Just keep going at it. And I made some like other content as well and just kind of having fun with it. But at the end of the day, business wise, it led me nowhere. But at the end of the day, I did learn some very valuable skills. Like, this might sound ridiculous to some people, right? But, I ended up learning communication skills. I learned how to talk, just at least behind the microphone. I'm still trying to get better at talking behind the camera, just like, sort of YouTube video style, dude, like all that stuff. But yeah, there's that. I learned like other stuff like improv and like just understanding communication. I think communication was the big asset for me, and just using that skill, especially when it comes to medicine, is so huge. And with any career, honestly, it is huge. If you don't know how to talk to people, like, my G, you're kind of fucked, right? But I digress. That's a topic for another video. If my brain comes up with that, hopefully it does. We'll see. But what is the point of me mentioning all these three, right? These three goals are pretty hard on their own. And at some point, I was like, why do I want to do this? Like, it'd be much easier if I just, I don't know, got like a bachelor's degree and just, I don't know, just like worked in a lab or something. Or just worked at a zoo. Or, I don't know what I could do with my bachelor's, I'll be honest with you. It's like, my head has been so, like, far out of the wind of just, like, graduate school. It's like, okay, I'm getting a master's degree. I'm gonna get a medical doctorate. I'm maybe get a PhD. It's like, maybe that's just my high expectations. But, either way, though, there's, like, this sort of thing where it's, like, part of it is ambition to not give up and to just, like, keep on going for the big thing that you want. And, it's... It's good, but it can be detrimental if overborne. Like if it's taken to the huge extreme, like up here, right? So like, you have like a little ambition down here. It's like small dick ambition. It's like, sure, I guess. I'll do it for money or something. That's small dick ambition right there, right? Go up a level, then it's like, I think this is where I am in terms of ambition. Some would say I would like up here, but I put myself like just here, it's like, yeah, I want to do this because I have a goal in mind and it's connected to my personal morals. And so I want to put everything I can just to do that. And then up here is like, well, I was about to say like self-sacrificing when like taking it to, no, okay, no, I remember. Okay, so we have this middle, it's like, right, I'm just, I want to do this, I'll do the best that I can. And then up here is like, that's your entire lifestyle, right? That is what you do to the core. If you don't do this, your life means nothing in your eyes, right? And up here is really bad. Down here, it's also really bad. Everything in life is a balance. Ambition especially, to me, right? So you have this, you gotta polarize, and then, oh, look at that, bing, I got the goal, I got the golden zone, right? So, yeah, once you get that golden zone, it's like, beautiful, you got it. Get it all good. But there's also, like, with ambition, there's also, again, that whole, like, give up or, like, let go, the laissez-faire, sort of lax attitude, if you will, right? Now, if you have too little of it, that's also the same thing as having well, maybe I should do this. Too high of ambition equals too low of this, right? So, like, you don't relax at all, you're spending a lot of your time working, you're basically a workaholic, right? And, I mean, for some people, especially with, like, the hustle culture, it's like, that's seen as a really good thing. But I would say that it's just gonna lead you to feel like shit at the end of it all. It's like, you're better off just kicking back and trying to enjoy this is gonna sound so cheesy, but, like, enjoying the journey and just experiencing life as is, you know? Just having fun with a bunch of stuff, like, because for some people would not think, a lot of normal people wouldn't think that studying is fun, or, like, because, what is it? Of course, I took, like, organic chemistry, for example. Like, nobody thinks organic chemistry is fun. And for those that don't know, organic chemistry is, like, well, as you would imagine, chemistry, and it's all the stuff that happens to your body with all, like, it's carbon atom focus, basically, and you get to learn about structures and shapes and how they react, blah, 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 all that nerd stuff. I found it to be really fun, actually. I found it to be a really enjoyable class, because it's like, it feels like a puzzle. It's like, I piece it together, and then I just kind of, like, see what happens, and it becomes a competition at some point to speed. It's like, alright, I want to see if I could do this thing in, like, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm pointing it down on the desk, but, like, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know. I'll do a half finger for 5 minutes, I don't know. But yeah, that sort of thing, right? And, you know, probably, again, if you have that mentality of giving up, you might be taking your goal a bit too seriously. And, again, it's not a bad thing to take your goal seriously. It's a good thing to some degree, right? Like, again, when we have ambition, the graph, right? This, right? So, not seriously at all. You don't give a shit. You're just like, okay, whatever, I'll do it, I guess, right? Up here is like, I will sacrifice my left arm, and my left leg, and my left eye, everything on my left, and I will do all of that just to achieve that one goal. But that's also not healthy, because one, you need your left side of your body. That'd be nice, but also, as I mentioned before, balance is key, right? And you probably don't have proper balance when it comes to achieving your goals, and therefore you probably either burn yourself out, or you don't have that reason to go for it. So, what can you do? Well, let's dial back a little bit. Let's go back to my organic chemistry example, right? Now, as I mentioned before, I saw organic chemistry as a puzzle. I still see it as a puzzle, actually. And, you know, there's, like, all these, like, molecules moving around and stuff. And also, I should have mentioned this before, I have a molecular kit, actually, that you can kind of, like, just piece together and just sort of, like, play around with the molecules and just see the reactions happen, right? And I thought that was actually fun. I thought it was like me playing with adult Legos, basically. Alright? But from some of the people that I've talked to, a lot of people saw organic chemistry as this, like, super complex subject, like, this, like, highly big brain sort of subject where it's like, look, I gotta make sure that these two electrons, they make sure that they move over to the sigma bond, and they do the thing, and I'm like, oh, relax. Namaste, brother. You just gotta relax and ease up a bit. You already know, right? No, you just chill. It's not that deep, right? Like for me, it's here's this double bond, and then, like, let's pretend there's a molecule here. I'm gonna take this double bond, and then, ooh, oh, look at that! I did the thing! Yay! Like, that's it. That's all I see it as. Like, because that's all you draw on paper, right? If you guys don't know, right? Like, if I had, fine. Honestly, I think it's pretty fun to the point where I can even do a whole video just on organic chemistry, but, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might bore you guys. I don't know. Let me let me down? What? No. Let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in that for some reason, and I will probably make like a quick 5-10 minute video on it. Be good for me. I could study. That's good. I need to study especially, but yeah, getting off that sidetrack basically. Yeah, like that's one thing to make it fun for yourself and to make it enjoyable, right? And the second thing is just, again, the big thing. Oh, God, I cannot stress this enough. Balance is key. It is key. It is the essential item. If you do not have this thing, don't even bother with the big goals. Honestly, if you can't even do that, give up. Straight up, just give up. Serious. It's best with these big goals, these huge goals, right? That you take it small. Just start small. Relax. Probably at your point of your life where, you know, there's like a lot of things riling in your head, but you haven't done the fundamentals yet. And I know, that sounds really unsexy. It's like, oh, focus on your fundamentals and like, do all the basic stuff. It's like, well, yeah, duh, but you need to do that, right? Like, when it comes to research, for example. Research, right? I didn't just go into like a top tier lab and then just start like presenting all this omega brain stuff, right? I walked into the lab and I just read articles. That is it. I walked into a lab and I just talked to people. I just saw what people did. I just existed in the lab, literally. And it wasn't even like a big lab, or it wasn't like a popular lab. It was actually a fresh, new lab. And you might be wondering, okay, well, why did you join that lab? Because I should probably also mention that I got invited to, or I reached out to some people, and some of the bigger labs actually reached out to me saying, hey, you know, we saw that you're interested, you want to join our lab. I said no to them. And that's mainly because of interesting, which that will be another video about like prestige and like all this like big guru stuff. But God, I feel like I'm coming up with video ideas like just like right there. There's a video idea right there, right? But yeah, no, like I just started off with like basic grunt work, right? Academic grunt work, you know, the boring stuff. Now, right? I mean, I took a bit of a break from the lab because I was doing some other stuff with research, but before I left that lab for a little bit, I was actually doing some procedures. I was messing around with cell culture. I was actually analyzing cell culture, you know, changing media, all the nerd stuff, basically, right? Now I'm involved with the lab where I know absolutely nothing about this subject. You know, it's like computer science based. It's all coding stuff. But I just have to learn. Okay, I learned it like that. Cool. We're gonna make something work, and you know what? God damn it, I did it. And I am so proud of that. Fucking like, dude. Like, it is tough, and the entire process of doing all these like tough, hard things, that in itself could actually be fun for some people, if you're a masochist. You know, it's like the exhilarating feeling of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna climb onto like this big top mountain, and I'm gonna feel like a big man. I'm gonna be strong, yeah, right? all that like manly jazz, but you know, you could feel that way, or you could just have the thought to yourself. It's like, okay, I'm investing in myself. That's a big one. I am investing in myself, right? Like this video. This is an investment. This is an investment to myself. I am investing to myself as a sort of accountability, and maybe as some sort of financial asset if that time comes for some reason, right? But I don't know. I'm just sort of putting this into like, I guess, a little me jar, right? Like, you know how people have like the swearing jar, or like I guess like a reward jar or something. I don't know. But I know the swearing jars exist. I don't know about a reward jar, but anyways, like if you give a swearing jar to somebody who swears a lot, that's gonna compound a good bit, right? Like you're gonna start off with like maybe like 25 cents, 50 cents in that jar. Eventually, that's gonna go up to $1.50. That's gonna be $15, then $150, and then like thousands of dollars. Is like, what the? How did we get to this point, right? It's all compound. You start off small, you build up. You might get too high. That's okay. You might get to that point where it's like, or you might get that little punch in the face. It's like, you know, you just get the little punch in the face. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna give up, right? Like, if you get that punch in the face, if you get that like sort of feeling where it's like, I'm not worthy. I don't think this is for me. I don't think that I should be doing X or Y. Take a step back and just tell this to yourself, okay? Fuck the fact that you can't do this right now. Fuck that fact. That fact is bullshit, okay? Like, I shouldn't even say it's a fact. It's not even a fact, right? It's an idea that your brain wants to come up with. That, oh, I can't do this because I haven't done this enough. No shit! You haven't done this enough. You have this, like, little jar. It's empty. It has nothing in it. And, like, are you going to buy a Lamborghini with an empty jar? I can't. If you can figure out a way, tell me. But no, for real, though. If you have an empty jar, no money, nothing, and you want to buy a Lamborghini, you're not going to get the Lamborghini. You could steal the Lamborghini, but then that's going to lead to some other consequences if you try to cheat the system, right? So, and also, let's say you get away with it even, okay? This figurative Lamborghini. You're not going to really feel that good about yourself because it's like, okay, well now I have this thing. What's the point? This isn't really mine. And that's the big thing, right? It's, whenever you get that feeling of, I want to give up, or I just want to, and really just forget all of this, right? The journey is, one, I think the best part. And two, is the essential thing in order to get to that outcome, right? But once you get to that outcome, human nature is going to dictate, well, at first you're going to be really excited about it. It's like, yeah, I got this thing, yay, right? But then, once you get it, it's like, I don't really care about this anymore. This is cool, I guess. Yeah. And then you find something bigger, and it's like, I want that bigger thing now. And then you go do that thing again. Or, like, if you were to cheat your way through it, it's like, okay, well, eventually you're going to end up at a dead end. Assuming you could get away with all that cheating, right? And cheating the system or whatever. So, just, it's like this build-up effect. Take the time. Relax. You know, have some coffee with it. Get some tea. And just chillax, dude. Right? Again, the key thing, say this with me now. The key thing is balance. If I had like a little text thing, that'd be cool, but my lazy ass isn't gonna do that. But yeah, that's the big thing is balance. Balance, purpose, and drive. And patience. Patience too. But I mean, I guess some of those you could combine all this race. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I wish you the best of luck with, oh, sorry, I don't know if that picked up. Whatever, anyways. Okay, so yeah, yeah, I wish you the best of luck with whatever journey you're going through, whatever goals you have. And trust me when I say this. You will make it. You just have to be very patient with it. And you have to start off very small, just small things. You might not even think it's impactful, but trust me when I say this, those are probably the best things you can do. The number one thing, the best thing you can do in that journey. But enough of me talking. Time for you to get some work done. Alright, bye.